Imagine yourself sitting alone in a dimly lit office. It's midnight and you're about to begin your first shift as a security guard. Sure, this pizzeria only pays minimum wage, but watching cameras until 6 a.m. should be an easy gig, right?
This is the setting of a massively successful indie horror game from developer Scott Cawthon, a game that influenced the industry and had one of the biggest impacts on gaming culture and beyond. Join us as we take a deep dive into Five Nights at Freddy's. Press space to jump.
Yahoo! Nerf this!
Stop! You violated the law.
Pentakill.
Nico, it's your cousin. Let's go bowling.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
Scott Cawthon, a game designer from Houston, Texas, started out his career in the early 2000s and over the next 12 years would release a plethora of indie games, predominantly in the adventure role-playing genre. His most successful games during this period were Christian adventure games Pilgrim's Progress and The Desolate Hope. Both released in 2012, although more popular than his previous games, they were labelled a financial flop by Scott.
Things took a turn for Scott in 2013 after the release of his family-friendly construction and management game, Chipper & Sons Limber Co. This game was centered around chopping down trees and selling wood to help grow your family's business. However, Scott removed the game after only a day due to receiving scathing criticism about the art style and character designs. Influential gaming journalist Jim Sterling described the beaver antagonist as resembling, quote, a scary animatronic. Scott really took that criticism to heart and used it as motivation for his next game, Five Nights at Freddy's, also known by the acronym FNAF. He set his mind on creating a Chuck E. Cheese-inspired restaurant chain that had a band of singing and dancing anthropomorphic animal mascots. These mascots would be present in the restaurant as animatronics, an animal puppet controlled by robots. The restaurant was kid-friendly, but these mascots turned evil at night. Introducing the crew of Freddy's Fazbear Pizzeria.
Freddy Fazbear is the head of the band. He is an animatronic bear similar in appearance to that of a children's teddy. He's a tall, gentle giant, looking not quite right with the addition of human-like limbs and facial features. Having only one row of human-like teeth is a peculiar feature. He's covered in patchy light brown fur, dressed in a top hat and bow tie with a microphone clenched in his right hand. Chica the Chicken is a backup singer in Freddy's band. Chica has a slightly smaller frame, but the same unnerving human-like features, right down to the teeth. Chica wears a large off-white bib that covers a majority of her torso, reading, "Let's Eat." Her base color is a dirty, grimy yellow, which is offset by her prop birthday cupcake that's decorated with pink frosting and marshmallows as a human face. Bonnie the Bunny is the bass guitarist in the band. He is an indigo rabbit animatronic created in similar anthropomorphic style as his fellow bandmates. Bonnie's lack of eyebrows is a distinct difference. Covered with deep blue indigo fur, wearing a red bow tie, and strumming, plucking, tearing up a faded red V-shaped bass guitar. Finally, Foxy the Pirate is the lead mascot of the out-of-order attraction Pirate Cove. He is an anthropomorphized fox with an eye patch and a hook for a hand, and unlike his three cohorts, he is much thinner and less bulky. His teeth are much sharper and less human-like. Foxy is more derelict than the others. You can see holes in his red fur. His clothing is torn, displaying his endoskeleton. these characters are the chess pieces to the chess board that is Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay.
You start the game in a rundown office with cobwebs over parts of the desk. The back wall is decorated in kids' drawings of the Freddy Fazbear's Band members. Dangling from the ceiling is a single light bulb, giving off barely enough light to see the room. A small fan in the corner is the only sound until the old office phone rings and a voicemail plays.
Hello? Hello? I wanted to record a message for you.
Through this voicemail, you learn it's your first night as the security guard at the pizzeria. You are told that the animatronic mascots get
A bit quirky at night.
as they put in free roam mode to avoid their servers locking up. The phone guy warns you to stay in the office because the animatronics will not see you as human.
They'll most likely see you as a metal endoskeleton without its costume on. Now, since that's against the rules here at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, they'll probably try to forcefully stuff you inside a Freddy Fazbear suit. Now, that wouldn't be so bad if the suits themselves weren't filled with cross beams, wires, and animatronic devices, especially around the facial area. So you can imagine how having your head forcefully pressed inside one of those could cause a bit of discomfort and death. The only parts of you that would likely see the light of day again would be your eyeballs and teeth when they pop out the front of the mask.
The voicemail ends as he wishes you good luck and reminds you to conserve the limited power you have. As you take control of your character, you realize they have extremely limited movement controls. All they can do is swivel the way they look from left to right, as well as cycle through the security cameras. Although it's still helpful, the view through the cameras is dark and distorted. On each side of the room are two buttons, one button to control the door, the other to activate a light. Using these resources uses up the limited power you have. Hold the door open for too long, and well, there goes your battery. The goal is to make it through your shift, from 12 AM to 6 AM for 5 nights. Each minute, each hour, each night, getting progressively more difficult as the mascots become more active. You need to keep the animatronics out of your office, otherwise, game over.
When you run out of power, Freddy will appear from the left, playing his signature theme song as his face glows in the darkness. Once the song ends, he will attack. Chica only attacks the player from the right side. She groans when she successfully makes it in, and then jump scares. Bonnie only attacks from the left, groaning when he makes it in to then jump you. Moving quicker than the other mascots, Foxy sprints into the office if the door is open and then screams at you.
Listening to the audio cues, keeping an eye on the cameras, and maintaining your power resource is a delicate balance, but your only chance of survival.
Today's episode is sponsored by Mercury Treads, boots to help you with your tenacity. Let nobody slow you down.
Five Nights at Freddy's popularity can be traced back to YouTube gaming channels, with prominent creators PewDiePie, Markiplier, and Jacksepticeye playing the game on their respective channels, releasing daily videos racking up millions of views between them. FNAF's in-game lore also attracted attention. The first of many videos on the subject, uploaded by YouTube channel Game Theory, has accumulated over 31 million views.
FNAF was a financial success for Scott Cawthon. Using data from Steam Spy, Five Nights at Freddy's 1 made at least $2 million profit from its PC release alone. The game was also released on Xbox, PlayStation and mobile devices. The frequent release of sequels also helped maintain FNAF's popularity, with the first 4 being released within a 1-year period. In celebrity culture, one notable fan of Five Nights at Freddy's is Jack Black. He has recorded videos playing the game with Markiplier, as well as TikToks singing fan-made FNAF songs and showing off his Five Nights at Freddy's costume during an appearance on US late-night show Jimmy Kimmel Live.
FNAF diversified its merchandise with brand deals. Several official licensed books set in the FNAF universe are available. Filming on a FNAF movie has just begun. Officially licensed plushies and clothes are sold by Hot Topic. Funko Pops released a range of immensely popular FNAF collectibles. There's even a Five Nights at Freddy's breakfast cereal. In 2023, the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise still has a subsection of hardcore, dedicated fans. However, its popularity is far from the heights of the mid-2010s. A contributing factor to this was Scott's decision to step back from developing FNAF games himself, and instead hire the gaming developer Stillwell Studios to produce the 8th and 9th sequels in the series. Scott also received public backlash for donating to controversial political figures, with some fans stating on social media they are no longer morally comfortable with supporting Scott and his franchise.
FNAF's lasting contribution to gaming comes in the form of pioneering a new gaming horror genre called mascot horror. The idea of twisting things meant for children to be scary, while not a new idea, it was scarcely used in video games. FNAF was the first to fully embrace and build upon this concept. Scott inspired, endorsed, and funded a few fan creations such as Pop Goes the Weasel and Five Nights at Candy's, amongst others. As of today, there are over 40,000 games hosted on GameJolt under the FNAF category.